Hi, and welcome to the Feel Good Always podcast. I'm Becky Bradley, and this is real stories of love, connection, and remembering who we are. So, today is a solo podcast, and so it'll just be me here talking to you. I am going to talk about surrender and listening. These are topics that will continuously come up in these solo talks. There are so many ways that we can really feel good always, and we have to work towards it, right? And a big topic is surrender. Surrender, surrender, surrender. That's how I get here. That's how I feel good always, by a continuous surrender and listening. So when I say listening, I mean I listen to the guidance. I watched my outside world. What am I being shown? And I surrender, thinking that I'm in control of it or the outcome. So that is kind of what we're going to talk about today, a form of surrender. There's so many different ways that we could look at surrender in our lives. I also want to welcome anybody that's new here listening to this podcast, and everybody that's been following along. I'm grateful to have you here. If you have found this podcast, then you found the energy. And that's actually what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how our energy can match people, and kind of match not only people, but really everything. And so that we trust that we will find the people that we need to find, and that the people will find us. So in surrender, this topic is surrendering people, places, and things, right? So we're going to focus on the people and what we think people should be doing. So in my life, and I think most humans' lives are, we have our own life, and then we have the lives of our family. Maybe it starts off with our parents or our siblings, and then it goes to we have children, or we have a boss, or we have classmates, and we're really just surrounded by people everywhere. And we have ideas about what people should be doing. We could even have ideas about what people should be doing that we've literally never met. And so that is just an interesting thing, that we kind of think we could control people. I'm not saying that everybody does this, but I know that that was my experience, and it's been a continuous surrender and so much peace found in me letting everybody be on their own path, and just focusing on what Becky Bradley is doing. And so we can do this with our children. I could do a whole podcast about surrendering children. I talk about that at all. That doesn't mean that we let them do whatever they want, but that means that we listen to what they're asking and we guide them. And the same thing that I'm doing here on this podcast, I'm really just a guide. I am not attached to who this podcast meets. I do it because I'm listening that I should. I'm not attached to how anybody thinks about it, how they find it, what part they feel, how many people are listening, any of that, because I really trust the guidance that I'm getting from the world around me, that I should be doing this. And I trust that it's not a numbers thing, it's a frequency or an energy thing, and it will find the right people. So that's me talking about trust. But let me walk it all the way back to maybe, let's say, 12, 13 years ago, when I started my real awakening journey. And if you're listening to this, I would imagine you've been on an awakening journey also, or you probably wouldn't be paying attention to this. I know I wasn't really looking at this kind of stuff. I had my own inner dialogue and stuff, but I wasn't really seeking. So if you're finding something like the Feel Good Always podcast, you're probably seeking, you're beginning to awaken, or you've been awakened in a series and you're going through another awakening. And so I've had a series of awakenings, and that really for me looks like finding something that really feels good, or a new thing that I didn't know about. For me, that looks like sobriety. Like when I got sobriety, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sober, and everything feels better, and plenty of people didn't need to get sober, but I really thought everyone did at the time, because I was experiencing just like a really amazing journey. It opened the door to do a lot more things. I felt better. I found yoga around the same time. I just thought everybody should do this. Now, lots of people don't drink, and lots of people do. And some people don't need to quit drinking. But at the time, I was like, oh, everybody should. So I was really trying to push that on everybody. Or I guess I was really shouting from the rooftops how amazing it was, to be sober. And I remember kind of being pushy on some of my friends that they didn't need to, they didn't need to not drink, but I just was so excited about it and maybe pushy about it. And the same thing, like, I could see that, and that was an awakening. And then when I found yoga, oh man, I was like, yoga, yoga, yoga. I just was, and those happened around the same time. I was just like, this is amazing, because what was happening for me is that I was really coming into my body and my energy was moving, and I was experiencing this feel good always, really. It was starting back then. And through meditation and really feeling in a different way. And I literally just couldn't stop talking about it and really wanting others to do it. And so what I would be taught when I was so excited about these things, and what I was listening and what was coming into me, was that I needed to not try to push all of these things on people, and that I could kind of go and be somebody who practices yoga, or be somebody who's an example of sobriety, and be somebody that does these things and not push it on people. It was hard because I was excited, and I might find myself wanting to like push it on people. But I learned that I don't need to push it on people, and that I could kind of go my own way, because when those two things happen, and they happen side by side, I did find myself kind of in a new community, a new group of people. And because I wasn't drinking anymore, the group of people that I was around, we were young, and, every event kind of revolved around drinking. And, which was fine for all of them. I just couldn't put myself in that position. And so I had to really go my own way, and without a lot of my friends. And that was hard. That was hard. But when I talk about like being brave or listening, it could be as simple as that I did it anyways. And I trusted that I would find the people. I had this voice, like, you'll find the people. And so today that looks like, I have a lot of people that practice yoga and are spiritual, and I have a lot of people surrounding me today that are like-minded, that everything that I was excited about, 13 years ago, this yoga, this like amazing thing that I had thought I found, and I really didn't have anyone to share it with except for, my teenage kids and my husband, because I hadn't met all the people yet. But they did come, and I did meet them. And, fast forward to my life today, and I am surrounded by like-minded people. And so I understand what it's like to be in a situation and really want it for everybody, and to be pushy about it, or want to be pushy about it. So what has been coming into my awareness lately is people that are starting to really wake up. They're starting to see the signs. They're starting to move into this higher level of consciousness. Like, they are seeing it, and it is fast. And what's happening is they are seeing it, and their friends, maybe family members, are not seeing it. And so maybe they're stuck, pointing fingers, looking at the world, watching the news, no judgment on any of that. But that's what maybe they're seeing their family members and people doing that. I don't know. They're seeing things that they're not doing, and they're really like, come with me, listen to this podcast, read this book, and really getting frustrated with family and friends that are not getting it, right? And so my message about that is that we have to stay in our own lane. We cannot spread the feel good always by thinking that we have all the answers and everyone else is wrong, because that's not feel good always. That's not it. We don't know that we have all the answers. We have the answers for us. So I have the answers for me. You are all listening to me. It does not mean that you agree with everything that I say, but I know that I know it helps me feel good. And if I am trying to push what makes me feel good on my children, my husband, my parents, my friends, then they're annoyed with me and I'm just left frustrated because I can't control them. And so the best thing to do is to just allow everyone to be on their own path, on their own trajectory, and to trust that as long as the more that we move, we take care of ourselves and we move towards this peace and this love inside of ourselves, you will see that it starts to be everywhere you look. Everything within shows up on the outside. But you have to trust. You have to trust that if you take care of yourself and you continue to believe that only love is real, and you continue to seek and you continue to do the work, and you can tell people what you're doing and be excited about that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when we start to get frustrated because we are experiencing such joy and happiness and others are not, and they're still frustrated or they haven't seen it our way, are we really living in that feel good always energy? Anytime I am looking at other people wishing that they were different, that doesn't feel good. So I have to let everyone be who they are. And if there's people that don't align with me anymore, if I'm looking at them wishing that they were different and they're just not really matching my energy, I can move on and just go find the people that do. Now, that doesn't mean that I hate them. That doesn't mean that I dislike them. That doesn't mean that I never speak to them again. That doesn't mean that I think I'm better than them. That just means that our energy isn't matching at this moment. That doesn't mean that I think if I go off, they'll figure it out someday and they'll find me. No, they may never match the energy that I match, and that's okay. We all find who we need to find if we really trust that. And the biggest, most important thing that I say to myself, I say it to my daughters, that if you have a friendship that breaks up or anything, that we can love them anyways. It's not that they are wrong, because long as we are pointing fingers, it doesn't feel good for me. So if I have moved into this energy where I'm seeing signs, I'm seeing connections, because that's what happened. Kira died, and I started to experience a very, very high level, which no one really understood. And thankfully, all of my people were really supportive, but no one really understood. And then I found myself trying to explain, but you really can't understand unless you have this experience. And so if I sat here and tried to, tell people that are atheist or somebody that thinks that it's not okay to connect with your child on the other side, you're not supposed to connect with spirits, or there's a lot of ideas about what I do by other people's belief systems. If I sat there and tried to convince them that my way is the right way, I think you could see where that would go. That would be really leaving me frustrated, because you're asking me to deny my child and on and on and on. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. I'm not going to do that, because I believe in what I believe in for me and for whoever's listening that believes it's for them. And that's it. I am not attached to how other people find God. I am not attached to whether or not people believe in God. That is up to them to find on their own. I believe, and I'll say it over and over again, it comes from within. We need to listen to ourselves. So if I listen to myself and I find all this joy and feel good always, and it came from me, from God, it came from listening and surrender. So if I do all of that, then can't I trust that everyone else has that ability too? Can't I trust that my children have that ability too? With my guidance, can they have their own say in their own life? Can my friends that don't want to match this energy, can I trust that they are on their own path, and maybe they're not ready? Maybe they don't see what I see because they haven't had the same set of experiences, and maybe they'll never see what I see. Maybe they won't. So how does this help us? This helps us feel good always, because we are not trying to control other people, which is really fun. It's really fun if you watch yourself trying to control other people that you don't even know. Like on the news, social media, when you see something that you don't like and you wish they were different. We can all relate to that, wishing that people were different than they are. It really just causes more suffering. So I really focus on me. I focus on remembering that only love is real, remembering that we all come from one, looking at every single thing, every person, every animal, every plant, everything is a part of me if we are all one. They are just mirrors. And so when I find myself feeling triggered by other people, wishing that they were different, wishing that they would see my way, thinking that they are wrong, I stop myself and I remember we are all on a path, and I am not in charge of their path or whatever their soul chose to do when they came here. I promise you, I've had plenty of judgment in my life, but really that surrender of people, places, and things, like everything. And so that puts me in this position that I'm in today where I can sit here, I can send this podcast to you guys, I can post tons of stuff on social media. I don't have to listen to the mind chatter. I don't have to listen to some part of myself that thinks that the things that I'm sharing here are kind of out there. And I'm not talking about right now because what I'm sharing is not out there, but there are things that I will be sharing that Becky Bradley of a couple years ago would have been like, this lady's lost her mind. And I have to let the ego go and have my own experience and trust that whoever this is going to find will find, because I keep saying it over and over, like, it is done. We have moved into this feel good always energy, all of us. All of us. But what we have to remember is everyone is making their way there in their own way. And as long as I am trying to tell you that your way is wrong, I am not participating in only love is real. So everyone's playing their role. Everyone's doing what they need to be doing. That does not mean that I don't have compassion when there are things like murder, school shootings, people being wronged, people being oppressed. That does not mean that I don't care about that, but I don't get stuck in obsessing about how wrong it is. I focus on what I can do and where my energy can go. And my energy can go here to all of you, to hope that this reaches this reaches you guys, that you hear this message, that how can you go today and spread the feel good always. We do this work together, not by forcing our belief systems on other people, but by just being a model of peace and presence. I think anyone, even someone listening to this, would be like, that's not my belief system. I think any of us have heard other people forcing their belief systems, thinking that their belief system is the only way. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel aligned when I hear other people and their belief systems forcing it, saying it's the only way. So instead of looking at that and getting upset and mad, I might sometimes, let me be honest, I might, but when I find myself triggered by that, I say to myself, what is this trying to show me? Because that person's just a reflection of me. What is my world trying to show me? And usually it's trying to show me that everyone is walking their own trajectory. And that is the set of beliefs is what put that person, they're not wrong. I'm not right. But for my situation, I am. And I can love them anyways. Gosh, that feels so much better. It feels so much better to love them where they are at and not think that my way is the right way. I'm going to repeat that. I don't have to think my way is the right way. My way is the right way for me. This truth and this peace and this beauty is for me. And if you find it, I hope you do. But if your path takes you on a different path, even if it takes you somewhere where you don't believe in any of this, that's okay too. I am not in charge of the rest of you. And when I know that I am not in charge, that is where I find all of the peace. And so I know that this can create friction, between family members when we're trying to persuade people that we love. We want them to feel the relief that we feel from the awakening that we've had. But you have to remember, you probably went through your own suffering to get here. Everyone has to have their own suffering and surrender them that they may never in this lifetime be where you are at. We're not responsible for waking them up. Our only job is to embody the energy and the frequency ourselves. And we practice attraction, not promotion. We let people be attracted to who we are and how we are being, but we don't promote it. We don't stand at the rooftop saying our way is the only way. We do this with our family and friends, and we can do this out in society. And so it's like eyes on your own paper. we are lighthouses. And so that's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing these lighthouses and boats, and I could be a lighthouse to show you what is possible. And the boats, they can decide where they want to go. Boats could either use the lighthouse as a guide or not. I am not in charge of the boats. I am just the lighthouse. So imagine that. Maybe you're all going to start seeing lighthouses. If you do, it's a sign. Lighthouses. We are lighthouses. But that doesn't make us better. That doesn't make us better than everyone else. It just means that's the path that we are on. So we are lighthouses, not lifeboats. Lighthouses, not lifeboats. We just embody our own light, and we release the expectations of who will get this. We let go, we let go, we let go, because we have to choose to let go, to let the peace and the feel good always come in. And we're going to choose peace every time. And we're going to choose it again. Even when we choose suffering for a few minutes, we're going to go back and we're going to choose peace, because we're trusting that we have a plan. Everybody came here on their own trajectory, and that they have a plan. And so this isn't about abandonment. It's not abandoning what you feel. This is about love. It's about staying in your own alignment, about being clear about who you are, and being a steady signal of this light for yourself and for those that are meant to see it and hear it. They will find you. They will find you, and they will find you everywhere, because it is done, and we've all found each other. And the ones that are ready will find you, and the ones that are not will go on their own trajectory, and we will love them where they are at, and we will remember that we are no better or worse than them. We are all just human beings. We are all just human beings. And that is how the energy spreads on the new earth, okay? That is how it spreads. I trust everyone's timing. I release control. I am the light. And you can say that. Think about that. I am the lighthouse, not the lifeboat. I trust everyone's timing. I release control. I am the light. These are simple things that you can do. Really simple things that you can do. Remember, we are not in charge. And remember, we keep talking about feel how it feels in your body. Does it feel good to want to control other people? Does it feel good to especially want to control a whole mass group of other people? We just have to, one at a time, bring this light on into the earth, feel good ourselves, and you will watch it spread. And what I see in my world, in my field, is mostly just feeling pretty good everywhere I go, because what is inside of me is reflecting on the outside. And I'm telling you guys, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I know you feel it. And I know you've found the people, and nothing feels better than to find your people. And when we find our people, we remember that this club of beautiful feel good always, there is no limit to it. There is no limit. There's no exclusions. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone is welcome to do their own thing and be on their own path. Everyone. I surrender all of you. We have to remember, surrender, 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 and listen. Follow the guidance, trust the signs. Okay, you guys, trust the signs. Maybe you'll start seeing lighthouses. And when you do, send me a message. You could send me a message at Feel Good Always Podcast on Instagram. Anything comes to you. I love it. You guys are feeding me the energy, and I am feeding it to you, and it's being channeled to me from all of the team that is helping me, and channeled to you. And we're just all doing this work here. It's really beautiful. And I appreciate you guys being here. On the next podcast, I'm going to be doing another solo talk. And this time I'm going to be talking about how to notice the signs, how to kind of use your life as a teacher, and what that looks like for me, and how we really start to embody things and experiencing things before we even learn about them. It is happening all the time. It's increasing. We have a bunch of light coming in onto the earth, a bunch of beautiful energy. All of you are part of that. It doesn't matter if you're listening to this when it came out. Whenever you're listening to it is at perfect timing. And so we're going to start talking about that, like how we use our own lives as a blueprint and as a teacher to show us to trust the path, to show us where to go next, to surrender, to surrender, to surrender, and to listen. So remember, only love is real. and feel good always. And I'm so glad to have spent this time with you. I love you all. I appreciate you. You can follow, if you're not already following the Feel Good Always podcast, that helps get it out there. And you can leave a rating and review if you want. Follow us over on Instagram. I have so much stuff coming through all the time. I mean, so much, so many things. I share a lot of signs over there. And if you're following along on this podcast, maybe I'll post some lighthouses. And I love posting stuff because the people that are listening or kind of in this energy will see that I'm posting signs, but other people don't. But it all carries frequency. So follow me there and everywhere. If you want, you can follow those links in the show notes. Until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time, and keep doing the work. Keep finding your joy. Go towards where the joy is and feel it all. Love you.